What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's a very big day, big announcement. As you can see behind me, don't mind this stuff in the garage. As of now, you guys should know that the red car is sold. If you haven't watched the videos, please go watch them. One will be like a roller video, and one will be just like a little video of the red car leaving and whatnot, and me saying my goodbyes. But as the title of this video states, we got something new. But before we get to that, like I said, don't mind this, we're about to move, so we're just packing a bunch of shit in the garage for now. So yeah, we got something new. I still have the black car here, as you guys know. The black Miata is still here, about to get finished being wrapped. It's not that far off. Couple bumpers, and literally the bumpers, and maybe redo the hood. Actually, I have, before I get on with the video and actually tell you what the car is, let me give you a little backstory real quick. So originally, one of my best friends, Joe, you guys will know him on the channel as the dude with the gray 370Z, the Nismo, the one that we took to Killcare and drifted really not too long ago on the channel. If you haven't seen those videos, please go watch them. They're pretty fun. I know most people aren't super big fans of watching drifting videos, but it was for us mostly. So that was super fun, right? And he got me into cars back in the day, a long time ago when I was younger. It's kind of funny. But the original cars that he got me into were the Nissan 350Z. And that car kind of made me realize what cars were, and like realize that cars actually have like potential to not just be little chunks of metal that drive around on the roads, hurling themselves 80 miles per hour down the highway. And I kind of realized, I kind of saw the potential and started seeing that in cars, and I was like, that's kind of what got me into them. And then, of course, he lives at in a different part of the U.S. than me, unfortunately. So I never really got like super into it. But my homie Jeremy, the one I went to school with, that you've seen a couple times on the channel, the one with the gray Nissan Frontier, actually, he kind of got me into Miatas and stuff. Well, not kind of, he really did. He's the one that kind of like took my like liking of cars to another level, because like he was my first like friend that was into cars. So that's why I ended up getting the Miatas, because I liked those a lot, and like I kind of fell in love with them. Just the way they drove and everything. And I've driven a lot of cars, honestly, at this point. I've driven a lot of shit. And after my buddy came up here, it kind of made me realize what I really wanted. But nothing else really spoke out to me like this thing did. So, to keep you guys, or to not keep you guys waiting anymore, here we go. My new to me 370Z. I'm super fucking hyped on this thing. Give you some details on it. Right here, sorry, there's a wild truck, I just paused it real quick. Right here we have a 2009 Nissan 370Z. I am so fucking excited about this thing. You guys have no goddamn idea. I'll give you some details. I actually picked this up a few days ago from somebody. Paid it outright. I'm just gonna go out there and say that. I don't owe anything on this car. I picked it up recently with the help of a couple of my buddies, Joey and Danny. Shout out to you guys big time. They both drove me a couple hours away to check this thing out a couple of different times. But yeah, this is a 6-speed 2009 370 with 76,000 miles on it exactly, and it is fucking stupid clean. I could not be fucking happier with this. I'm not gonna tell you guys exactly like what I bought it for, but in all honesty, in all reality, I got it for an absolute fucking steal. And it's a clean title and everything. Thing's fucking minty. Interior's fucking super minty. I'll open this door for you. I can get my key out. There we go. We can get a good up. Oh, it is tinted. It looks like almost 5%, I would say. The interior is fucking super minty. Super hyped on it. Like I said, I got it for basically what Kid owed on it. The only mods done to it, it's pretty stock as you guys can see. The only mods done to it are intake and exhaust is what the previous owner did to it. Exhaust way too loud and it kind of has an exhaust leak, so I'm gonna try to fix it today. And the intakes are a little bunk, but it's whatever. They're not the worst. I've seen worse, and they actually go into the bumper and everything, so they're not super shitty intakes. But yeah, man, I am let's get you a booty view. See this thickness in the rear. I transferred the red car's plates to the Z. Look at those fucking hips, bro. Shee. Okay. Like I said, I'm super excited on this car and the potential that it has. I'm not gonna rush build this thing or anything like that. I'm gonna take my time, build it with all the right parts, and do this thing exactly how I want it to be done. I'm not gonna cheap out, cut corners, or any dumb shit like that. I want this car to be perfect because it's pretty damn mint and it drives extremely well. So I'm excited. I really am excited. I gotta get this black car sold for sure. But other than that, I'm gonna do an oil change, try to fix that exhaust leak. Okay, so we got the oil draining. The oil filter is switched, old one's in the bag. Good to see that that was actually a Nissan oil filter. I'm gonna probably end up going OEM oil filters and all that, but for now, it needs an oil change, like literally now. It's over. I drove it home as it was being over. Like he said 75 miles over. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm doing it now because he said it was over. So for now, it's just gonna have the K&N oil filter. It's whatever. Eventually, I'll go ahead and get the Nissan one. But yeah, so it's draining. I'm gonna let it finish draining. I'm like a big stickler. I let it drain for as long as I can to where it's dripping slow as fuck. So I get as much new oil as I can. So yeah, like I was showing you, I got some Purple Royal 5W34. My buddy really likes it in his Z. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it in this John. I'm gonna do diff fluid, trans fluid, clutch fluid. I'm gonna do everything in this car. Get it up and maintenance. So yeah, I'm hyped. Let's let this drain a little bit. And we're back with like day 2 of this video, I'm pretty sure. We're gonna just continue on with the little maintenance episode kind of thing. Just kind of get this car up to my spec or up to where I know I'm good just to sit there and drive it for a while and don't have to worry about nothing. And what that includes is maintenance as soon as you buy a car, especially if you don't know when some of the fluids were changed last. If they weren't recent or noted down anywhere, then you should change them, just because you can keep that in track. Like, you know exactly the miles and know when to change it again, and you get better fluid in there if you don't know exactly what's in there. So with that being said, all right, so we got a little setup here going, so a little bit different than how I normally do it and hold the phone. Just going over, so there's a few things that we're gonna need or that we're gonna be doing in this video. I think I kind of explained it before, but I also kind of forget what I said exactly. We got some new fluids and new gaskets for the car. So yeah, so we ended up getting some 75W90 diff fluid from Redline. Actually, it's from Z1 Auto, but it's Redline fluid. We also got some MT85 manual transmission fluid from Z1 Auto, also Redline, for the Z. So we got 3 quarts of the manual transmission fluid and 2 for the diff, of course. We also got some metal gaskets for the exhaust. You can kind of see them through the bag, actually, for the exhaust, because this shit leaks like a bitch, and I would like to kind of fix that a little bit. So we got that. There are also some pressure washers in here for the drain plugs on the Z. I'm also going to be using, since I'm going to be doing this by myself and filling, well, honestly, even if you're not doing it by yourself, this is still a complete pain in the ass to fill your diff and your trans, like, because the fill hole is so high, you kind of need something like this. So I've had this actually for a minute. I've used it plenty of times, and I've loved it every single time I use it. This is so helpful. You get one of these at AutoZone for like, I think, 15 bucks or something like that. But it's a pump. You put one end in the bottle, you put the other end and the other end of the hose inside of the transmission hole, and you just pump it, and it literally just flows fluid through it. I need to clean this out before I actually use it, so I'll go ahead and do that in a minute. But you're also going to need a, I don't know if it'll focus, but like a 10 mil, I think it's called a hex bit. Thanks Nissan for making your diff and trans fluid drain bolts, hex bits. So I had to go pick one of these up because, of course, I didn't know because I just got the thing. But it's pretty self-explanatory. I've pulled diffs, changed fluid out in plenty of cars, so it's not really that scary. The car's already jacked up, as you can see. It's already in the air, so we kind of just can get under there and start draining shit. So let's go ahead and go. I'm gonna do my best to record for you, but it's a really awkward position I have to hold my phone in right now. But you get the idea. You can see the drain bolt right here at the bottom, and the fill plug is right up there. So honestly, really easy to get to. Shout out Nissan for that. I redact my shout out for them putting the fucking O2 sensors or whatever these are literally right next to the ground. Fix that shit. Unless that's just my exhaust, which it might be, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll go ahead and pop these out. Okay, and for first fluid changes and whatnot, I like using a pan like this instead of something like this to, well, you can of course leave the plug in, but to really check over the oil and be able to absolutely see everything in here and be able to slosh it around, see if there's any metals or anything like that. It's a transmission and diff. I'm low-key expecting there to be a tiny bit just because it's probably only been changed once in its life, and I'm sure people have grinded the gears in this a couple of times. So we'll hope that nothing's too bad in there like that, or nothing like that. I've also been looking over the bushings and stuff, like the rear diff bushing I know is a problem on Z's and whatnot, transmission bushings and stuff like that. And overall, this car feels extremely good. It feels very smooth over all the bumps and stuff through the gears and whatnot. So, and the bushing looks good in the rear. There's no fluid or anything coming from it or whatnot. Nothing like that. I'm just gonna get these fluids changed out and just drive it for a little bit. So yeah, we grabbed our 10 mil hex head, and we're gonna go in here and pop those two drain plugs. I'm gonna let you guys know. Most of you probably know this, so this is a no-brainer. But if you are going to change diff fluid or trans fluid or anything along those lines, and there is a fill hole and a drain hole, make sure you pull the plug on the fill hole first. Because if you drain your transmission and you somehow accidentally strip your fill hole or your fill plug, or you break it off, or it just literally will not come out, you're kind of fucked. You don't have any fluid in your diff or trans at that point if you pulled your drain plug first, because it's going to drain out clearly. So make sure your fill plug comes off first. Make sure it breaks loose. Make sure it's going to come all the way out and it's going to go all the way back in, or you're going to be shit out of luck. So yeah, do that. Let's hit this fluid. Like that, you can see the drain bolt is loose and is chilling. So I'm gonna go ahead, pop out the lower and let it drain. All that drains out, and we just cleaned this thing off. And it's nothing like I didn't expect. Nothing big or chunky in there. We'll have to check that for that. We gotta throw the new crush washer on this and wait for this to drain. About a minute to drain. It's been draining for a minute. We're just letting it slowly drip out now, and then we'll throw the plug and everything back in it. Fill her up. All right, so that about concludes it for this video. All the maintenance I wanted to do for now is done, just so the trans, diff, or engine don't blow up, because they're kind of important. I really am enjoying this car. I've been driving around for a while. It's freshly clean. It's been a few days since I recorded last. Haven't had any issues, and it's so fun. I'm really happy with it. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope that you guys are excited, or as excited as I am, to see this car get built, or watch me build it, or see what I do with it. or see where it takes the channel. I know that Z's aren't necessarily everyone's cup of tea. Like, I know that a lot of you have probably subbed to this channel strictly for Miatas or whatnot, or maybe it's for crazy carts or anything else. I don't really know, but whatever. But so I know some of you are probably going to be disappointed. I know some of you are probably going to be excited. Honestly, this is like kind of like a big Miata. It's as close to a Miata as you can get. Like, of course it's a little different. I mean, a lot different, but like it's a big Miata. But I've always wanted one of these things. I've always been a fan of them, so I went ahead and got one, and because I wanted one. So I don't know what exactly it's gonna mean for the channel, like what or for name wise and stuff like that, because the name is Yada Bros, because I had 2 Miatas and plan to always have a Miata, and I still am going to get a Miata eventually, so I probably could keep the name or just figure out what to do with it, or just keep Yada Bros as Yada Bros and just have it not necessarily mean Miatas or something like that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Peace out.